Hi, welcome back to the Awesomenauts Rumble Skolldir Showdown. My name is Mr. Pillow, and with me once again is one last attempt for the day, Pyro. Jeez, I don't know how else to put emphasis on your name. Mike's muted. You're muted. I don't think he hears me.
I am currently muted, which was something that I did not note. So I am now here. I am now Pyrocheese. I have always been Pyrocheese, but thank you for having me today. It was a blast casting this. We are at the home stretch of this tournament now, going into what would be considered the finals in this case. Finally, the last two standing, deciding first and second place of the tourney.
Indeed, we are at the kind of the tilting point of it. It's the grand finals, so to speak. I still don't really know how you kind of, I guess, determine who wins what the different stages of round robin are. I don't know if there's like any official like naming of that besides round 1, round 2, round 3, etc. Everyone makes it to the last round anyways. But that said, and it's Niki versus Paulo. And Paulo needs to win both of these matches in order to take first place. Otherwise, it's going to be Niki walking home with the championship and be your 2-year reign champ. We'll see. It's a classic matchup we've had, and we've had Paulo pull out the underdog story on Niki so many times before, man. And then, you know, I remember the rivalry at least as long as I've been paying attention to the Awesomenauts competitive scene. Going back actually as far as Anywhere Awesome Cup 1, where I believe Paulo's team, Boom, they lost to him in the Niki's team 99 cents the grand finals, but they were the only people to even take a win off Niki the entire tournament. And then, like, you know, you have situations like Warzone Weekly, where mature gamers, Niki's team at the time was like everyone's favorite to win, just like Niki's everyone's favorite to win right now. And then maybe Butchers and the Boys just came in, took the win. You saw the same thing happen in Awesome Brawl Weekly, where Paulo was actually in the loser bracket on here, Butchers and the Boys, and managed to pull the win out of nowhere in an amazing comeback versus Niki's team Mature Dads. And here we are again. It's the classic story. Paulo starts off having to play catch up, but can he do it is the question that we have. So one last time for today, my friends, I would like for you guys to place your guesses in the chat who you think is going to win. These guys are going to play exactly 2 matches, win or lose, and who you think is going to win? Is it going to be Paulo? Is it going to be Niki? Or are they each going to win 1? If you guess correctly after the 2 matches, you will be able to what do you call it? Win a piece of DLC. If it'll be you along with all the other people who guessed right. One of you guys will win. So with that said, you know, there's not much more to say about these players. Pyro, what is your guess? Who takes this?
You're really right. It's tough to say who's gonna really take this. This is vested in so much history between, you know, spanning years. You know, the game has only been out, at least on PC, for about 5 years at this point. These guys have been at it, you know, going back and forth since basically the beginning. Like you're talking about back in Awesome Cup 1, Alienware Cup 1. And that was quite a while ago. I remember that was the first tourney that I was aware of, and that was even before I even got really involved with the community whatsoever. And there's been many times before then, like you had gone over the list, just a whole lot of history between these two guys. So this is just, you know, another bullet point to them. But, you know, either way, it's going to be a matchup that's vested in so much pride for both of these guys, based on so much experience with each other, going at it back and forth, that either way, it's going to be a lot on the line and a lot to look forward to looking into this match.
Indeed. We're going to get right into the match. There's not much left to say. I am at the 10-second mark. Would you like to give us our second to last countdown of the day? Or I guess it could be the last. Oh, they played 2 matches regardless, so we'll still show the second one, even if Niki wins this one, since that's just what the format of the tournament was. These guys actually played their matches in round 2. We just kind of show them last and kind of craft the story, you know? But, spoiler, thanks, see. But that said, 10-second mark. Give us the second to last countdown of the day.
All right, let's go ahead and get this going. In 3, 2, 1, Go.
And we're off. Niki taking the Edster style opening. And oh, he goes for the throw, barely whiffs it. Paulo gets a nice throw, deals a lot of damage. And immediately, Niki's already in a bad spot. Starting off Paulo's game. That's what Niki does. We're trying to use Ed's tech. And Paulo's going to take the first blood of the game with a nice throw with almost all his health. Fire, what is it that you say about the first blood setting the tone for the rest of the match? Because Paulo in a really comfortable spot in that situation there.
Yeah, he definitely was. I mean, that was almost one of the cleanest first bloods I've seen. You know, it wasn't particularly fast. You know, we've seen some 4-second first bloods in this tournament so far, but regardless, this was almost like the epitome of capitalization on mistakes. You know, Niki missed a couple of throws there. Paulo had landed some and was just able to follow through and effectively actually go through with it to get the first kill and go through with the second kill right there as well. You know, Paulo's still in a pretty good shape right there. Niki's still going down 2-0, unfortunately, to that, but now Paulo's a little bit on edge. Niki gonna be a little bit more aggressive, getting a throw off on Niki. Paulo right there, no follow-up there, but that throw right there is gonna give Niki his first kill on Paulo, making it 2-1 right now.
Indeed. And he's going to need to find a couple more clean kills like that. Like that one right there, off into the pit. The stun lock, perfect. That's going to bring it 2-2 with both players at full health. Niki going ahead and trying to find the throw off the jump pad. Not going to find it. That was actually savage, though.
Yeah, that was beautiful, really. That was almost like textbook what you want to do when you throw it off the edge. Just stun them right close to the jump pad, just enough so that they just miss it, even if they have a second jump, which, you know, almost they never do anyway. Just enough to send them into the abyss, possibly like that, not quite gonna be able to pull it off there, but it was a very similar circumstance in that scenario. And that is gonna be Paulo going down, and Niki now having to lead 3-2, you know, making quite the difference from the onset of a 2-0 lead for Paulo. But now evened up 3-3, both people are gonna be at full health, cooldowns reset, so now only 7 kills until the victor for this round.
Indeed, and ooh, we're gonna have a nice double throw. I don't think Niki thought that Paulo was still on cooldown. I thought Paulo was still on cooldown also, but he managed to find it. And both players are kind of playing cautious now. The health advantage is slightly in favor of Paulo, but next frag is anybody's. The next person to hold the advantage of the game is really anybody's to take here. And it looks like it might be Paulo. Niki getting incredibly low. He might be going down. He will. That's going to bring it 4-3, Paulo's favor. And he's kind of playing it cautiously. This is making it's more concerned instead of interrupting Niki's jump pad, or just staying clear of the tricks that Niki's going to pull off it. And doing a good job trying to dodge everything. He's going to get the nice snare quake and get his throw off it onto the jump pad. Lands a stun punch as a result, going in doing a lot of damage. But despite that, he still somehow ends up with less HP than Niki. And Niki just goes in with a throw to get the last hit when all is said and done. And Niki going in with the quake is going to be a miss, but Paulo is going to set himself up a nice frag on Niki, get a throw. Niki had just sliver HP. He is running on fumes, but there's nothing he can do. That's going to be more than enough for Paulo to just get 1/3 hit and to take what he needs. There's going to be the quake. It actually manages to hit him, just barely nicks him. Gets thrown, gets his quake in return, and gets his throw in return. Both players getting incredibly low, but Paulo's hill punches were a bit more recent. They're really coming out in favor of him. There's going to be another throw coming out from Niki. But like, these throws are getting consumed as soon as they're off cooldown, and they're always hitting. Just like, look at that. Look how low HP he has.
Yeah, that's actually one of
the third punch.
Yeah, some of the most consistent throw landings that I think I've seen this entire tournament. Just almost that one bout, and still going really between lives, just landing every single throw. And like I said, just being able to land those throws, maybe not even necessarily following up with them, but just being able to land them for that damage, for that displacement, for that control over the situation is so vital. And to see that both of these players are doing it so damn consistently is just, it's really inspiring almost, just to say that they're doing the best they can, and they're definitely showcasing all of their skills that they've built up over, you know, years of history, over years of the game, and just fighting and giving it everything they've really got.
Indeed. And Paulo's being really aggressive right here. He's in this sort of situation where he knows he's low, but he wants to make sure he's, you know, Niki spends the damage, so to speak, spends his HP in order to get the kill, which he had to do. He had to go down to half. I think that's also a mistake we saw some of the other players in this tournament make, where, again, I brought it up all day long, my philosophy of you have to spend your HP to deal damage here. A bunch of these people, when they're like, oh crap, I'm so low, they play so cautiously that they end up giving the enemy an opportunity to bypass that rule when they were already up ahead in terms of the health bar. Paulo makes sure that he's with it. He's like, you're not taking this last bar without me taking off 5 bars from you. And that's one of the reasons I think like Niki hasn't been able to get the advantage. He's either been tied like he is now and about to die actually, probably going to grab his lead back, or he's down the whole time. Like Paulo is doing a really good job at playing the numbers of the game right, and that's going to be a nice throw. Niki did not need that. That's actually 9-7 in favor of Paulo. This is the first time all game that Niki's had to make a comeback story to win the game. There's going to be a whiff throw though. Paulo going to be at half HP here. And oh, that was a nice punch, and Niki might pick up the frag, and that's going to bring him to 8 kills. He needs to do this 2 more times. He has the HP. It's very possible. There's going to be a Quake, and there's going to be a Quake throw on Niki, dealing a lot of damage, bringing him to half. Paulo going to be on the hunt now. Abilities ready. He's got the throw. He's got the Quake, and taking a lot of damage. There's going to be a whiff throw, though. There's the throw coming up.
One of the very few whiff throws.
Say what?
One of the very, very few whiff throws. I've actually been keeping count since we actually mentioned the whole not throwing misses, or not missing throws. I think I've only seen 2, maybe 3 throws that have actually whiffed entirely, which is really, really impressive. I don't know what the numbers are for the rest of the matches, but I feel like that's something noteworthy in its own right.
Yeah, that really is. Like, that takes a certain level of consistency, finesse, and just general mechanics. But it's 9-9 right now. Both players have low HP, less than half. A whiff throw coming up. Oh, yeah, that did hit, but now the counter throw is going to lead to Niki's first defeat of the entire tournament. Oh my god, what?
What a fitting defeat as well to Paulo, none other than.
That was absolutely savage kill right there. That was bloody murder.
Yeah. That was really, really an impressive match. I mean, overall, not only were those 2 players both mechanically very skilled and very invested in history, but even towards the very end, it was just raw skill. Earlier we were mentioning that, once you get into the upper echelons, raw skill isn't really too much of a difference just because they're so close together that they're like basically at the limit of what the game can support as far as their skill level. But you still see that apparent here. They were landing. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than 90% of their throws, which in any setting is impressive. Like, in a normal game, that's an impressive stat. In 1v1s, where there's so much motion going on, there's so much just raw things, just a lot of moving parts to be able to still consistently land throws to that degree is really, really impressive.
Indeed. And it's just the sort of thing. There's a reason that these guys are competing for #1 Skolldir in the world right now. They, made it past everyone. I mean, you got a guy like Paulo, everyone's like, yeah, okay, he's one of the top players, but, yeah, is he going to be the top of Skolldir Showdown? And, he doesn't even main that character. He doesn't play him that much. Nope, he made it past that series. He made it past Stars, and he's proved it. And now here he is again, trying to put another notch in the belt, trying to put another trophy on his wall. And I think he can do it. He is the only player this entire tournament, qualifiers included, to take a win on Niki. He is the only one. Like, come on, like, what the heck? Like, Paulo is in a prime position to do this, and I think he can. I don't think anyone but him can.
Yeah, and that's something to note as well. For as much as we give Niki a lot of credit for that, he's still mortal. He's not effectively God. Things like this are still possible. With Paulo coming up from maybe not an underdog story at all, but maybe at least not the favorite in this case, still being able to put a fresh shot. Make Niki actually work for what he wants to work for, and in that way, that always makes for some good shows, and that's what this show is all about.
Indeed. So, well, let me ask. You're still gonna stay down on your opinion here. Is this going to be Niki as our winner today? Like, is your opinion changing here?
It's tough to say. Niki's always been a favorite of everyone, I think, who's been involved in Awesomenauts tourneys where Niki's involved. But Paulo, I don't know. He did show that it is possible. One of those, like, showing that he is capable of doing this, and he's shown this in the past, obviously. But I guess like when it comes specifically down to this, it is much more direct comparison, just because it is 1v1 kind of situations where in the other case it does involve a team, so it's not as personal kind of thing. But in this one, like you're saying, niki has only been defeated in this tournament so far by Paulo. Well, I guess this is the final, so he's only going to be defeated by Paulo, if anyone. But what that just means is that if anyone's going to do it, it is Paulo. So who's going to win? It's really up in the air right now. Niki, again, was just a favorite, but Paulo has shown that may not be the case.
Indeed. Also, it's... you know what? I think it's time to get into this. I'm pretty hyped. I want to see how this goes. 8-second mark. Are you ready, my friend? Would you like to give us the final answer countdown of the day?
I am indeed ready, so let's go ahead and get this show on the road. In 3, 2, 1, go.
And we are off. And niki immediately, he's going to actually start off with the right mid bouncer. That's, I think, the first time we've seen that opening this whole tournament. That's the way to start off the last match of the day. And goes in. He's going to look for the Quake and not going to find it. Paulo looking out first. We're going to get a third hit. There's going to be a nice throw coming out from niki onto Paulo. Going ahead, dealing the damage. And he might just get the first frag here. He just needs one more third hit. Paulo's going to whip the recovery. And niki doesn't even need a third hit because after that whiff, he just managed to pick up the first and second. There's going to be a whiff throw, though. And he's going to have to take the jump pad and gets the nice little residual damage. Paulo's going to whiff the throw. Not looking in good shape, but still anybody's game way too early to even begin to call it. In fact, look at niki's HP just starting to drain. Paulo getting a lot of damage in just from punches alone. Then gets the throw, and then one hit from Oily is going to be his last hit, bringing it 1-1. Relatively even health bars, slightly in favor of niki. Going to be a lot more in favor of niki as just the DOT just does an amazing last job doing the last hit there. Just tons of damage all at once.
Yeah, that was just back-to-back, being able to land both his Quake, following up with a couple of the third punches, and then finally that throw at the end, putting him in a position where he knew that he was going to die to DOT, and still be able to just kind of like chill out for a second, and just let that take care of you, not take any risks that you don't need to take. If he's going to die, just go ahead and let him die, basically. There's no reason in order to get yourself involved at that point. Like right here, like I would have thought that niki would have backed off right there once he saw that the DOT was going to take care of it. Paulo did actually get a third punch off, which let him survive the dot, but not quite enough to survive another punch from niki there.
Indeed. And Paulo going to be going in. He's going to find a nice Quake on the Skolldir. Not going to be that much he can actually really do with it. But, punch right down beneath there.
Some of those edge kills have been my favorite to watch in this whole tournament, just to see just how finessed you have to be, and credit where credit's due. That map design with the jump pad, just close enough to the edge where it's actually useful for the map, but still just far enough away that if you get stunned out there, you're pretty much done for either way.
Indeed. And niki gonna be getting the punch, getting the punch combos and the throw. I think he's mad about last game. Niki's not about to lose this. Like, niki is not taking a loss on Skolldir Showdown. He is making he's pulling out all the stops, and he's comboing like crazy here. But Paulo's finally got the counter throw that he needs. He might be able to start to make something and go in on this. And but then niki's gonna throw him right back. It's 6-1 in favor of niki.
Man, this is quite a change from the last match, I would have to say. It was fairly even throughout the whole match, and it was a really good match. But this one, frankly speaking, niki's just being very, very dominant. Even when Paulo gets a couple of combos, it isn't quite enough to sustain him and the combos enough to where he can actually get a frag. Because, the moment that niki gets started with any kind of combo, a single throw can get that wheel in motion, and that's just it for there. However, Paulo was actually able to respond to niki's throw and be able to actually do 2/3, 3/4 of his health in a couple of seconds, and that was gonna be it for niki.
Indeed. And Paulo gonna get a nice throw onto niki, but he might be caught paying his life here. He does not have the health to spend on that frag. He just doesn't. He has to get 7 kills. It was, I guess, technically 6.5. On niki in order to win this. Well, niki just has to get 3, but Paulo is going to get the third. There's a third punch, and he's dealing lots of damage, but he's going to get thrown off the map!
That was so unfortunate. niki was maybe like 1 or 2 little punches away, and that would have been it for him. But Paulo unfortunately just got thrown off right off the edge. No response able to be done there. But you know, it is looking really rough. 8-4 in favor of niki right now. Like you said, gloves coming off, pulling out all the stops. You know, there's a lot of pride going on in this, and you know, for one person to come out on victor, that's bragging rights, and that's huge in its own right, especially in a community like this.
Definitely, you know. The prize is there. It's a $20 difference. It's 50 versus 30 if you wins. One more piece of DLC. You know, it's nice to have, but I mean, everyone knows, even if you tacked on a couple of zeros onto that prize, it would take several zeros for it to become more about the prize than it would be about the pride here. And I totally get what you're saying, because these guys, I mean, they're rivals. At the end of the day, Paulo and niki probably have a better, in my opinion, a better rivalry story than anyone else in the Awesomenauts community. But this chapter of the rivalry is going to be concluded as your winner of the 2017 Skolldir Showdown is niki.
Nice. I can't say that people weren't really rooting for him from the get-go. You know, like I said, once people know that niki's involved in any kind of tournament, everyone kind of signs off. But at the same time, he got to run for his money. You know, Paulo did get a win off of him, so he wasn't like he was infallible. And at the same time, at the end of the day, we got an amazing show out of it, even if it didn't involve niki. Some really good matches that came out today. You know, a lot of highlights to be had, some nice plays, a lot of things that we weren't really expecting, and things that were nice to see from the community overall, as well as just how Skolldir is played. You know, maybe this is something that, you know, for those of you watching, maybe you can apply this to your own game. Maybe, you know, a little bit of training in that, but maybe take some tips from these guys. You know, that's what this is all about. We're a community, come pulling together, watch some of these shows, and have a good time.
Indeed is. And I gotta say, just seeing some of the people's journey here to get to the spot they were at, you know, came unexpected. Like, if you actually look at the point standing for the qualifiers yesterday, it was actually a lot different. It was Edster came in first at 149 points. So you get, basically the way the formula worked is everyone played 5 matches, and you got 2 points per kill, 1 point per win, and lost a point per death. And Edster had 149. Zuji, who couldn't make it today, thus Uberancy was brought in, was at 147. niki at 145. Body Hunter at 133. Love at 132. And Paulo was at number 6 at 120. YOLO at 113. But like, Paulo just like cut past everyone. Like but here he is, the only person to take to beat niki in either the qualifiers or the playoffs, and is your second place winner here. Absolutely amazing gameplay coming out from both teams. Your third place again is Starsan. If you guys missed me reading off the final placements earlier, just to reiterate those, it is in 8th place Love with 0 wins. In 7th place Uberancy with 3 wins. 6th place was YOLO with 3 wins and 100 kills. 5th place was Edster with 7 wins but 117 kills. Body Hunter has 8 wins and 121 kills. Starsan has 8 wins as well and 126 kills. Paulo has 11 wins. Excuse me. Yeah, 11 wins, and niki has 13 wins. So, excellent gameplay coming out from everyone today. It was actually just phenomenal to watch all of that unfold, to be honest. But unfortunately, just it's not your niki, and not unfortunately. I was figuring out if I want to say if it was better luck next year for Paulo or congratulations to niki. I didn't know how I worded that, but I went first half Paulo, then second half niki. Anyways, congratulations to niki. Your 2 years in a row Skolldir Showdown Championship. Actually, incidentally enough, Edster is 5th place once again this year. Arsan is 3rd place once again. And yeah, it was definitely an amazing tournament. How did the places go in your opinion? Like, did people rank as you thought they might?
I think they roughly did, honestly. My surprise is, you know, not to discredit it too much, but Uberancy actually, I think, did a pretty good show overall. You know, he got in on a sort of technicality. I don't want to diminish his worth. You know, everyone who was here definitely deserved to be here, and I think that's why the qualifiers exist, so that we cast the best of the best, and these definitely were the best of the best. I don't think anyone can really argue that. But to see, you know, he didn't even at first he wasn't even going to be involved, but you know, someone else had to be call out, whatever it might be, and he did put on quite a show. You know, that one match that was against Niki, he was holding his own. You know, eventually Niki won, but at the same time, it was kind of good to see that even the kind of underdogs still have a shot in some cases. You know. At the same time, this isn't really relevant, but I do want to give a small shout out to Holla Holla Dalla Dalla, who I see in the qualifying rankings, having the same point as Uberancy. So, you know, maybe in an alternate universe, he would have been here today, and it would have been very interesting to be casting my homeboy over there.
I wanted so bad for both Paula and Celsi to make it. I was just like, I want Pirates to cast that. That would have been the greatest thing in the world.
No, it absolutely would have been if I just could you know, be talking all kinds of trash to them. I wouldn't be doing that here, but you know,
I'd be like a voice in the background. Like you'd like do 5 minutes of trash talk and be like, and Celsi hit a punch there. That was pretty cool.
You know, I mean, oh yeah, look at that. He has 2 abilities. Good on you. We'll use the other one now.
Yeah, and then it'd be like, enough about that. Yeah, anyways, Holla, as usual, talking to Celti. And it's like a mock cast because we want to do it. If anyone was confused by the way, about how, you know, Uberancy tied with Holla, but, you know, made it into the playoffs, what happened was Zuji couldn't make it. So we defaulted to the person who placed 8th in the qualifiers, which was Big Bob, but he was also unable to make it. There was actually a 3-way tie between Uberancy and Skinner and Holla for 9th place. Holla wasn't on this morning during the check-in period, so we had Skinner and Uberancy do a 1v1 to get into the playoffs, and it was actually Uberancy who took it and, you know, went in. So that's how that kind of, you know, went down. But that said, that's gonna wrap our tournament for the day, and appreciate everyone coming out. We do have an amazing announcement. I'm sorry, Byron, I don't think I even briefed you in on this. We're not announcing our next tournament yet. I can tell you we have some huge things going along the way that's a lot bigger in scope than anything we've done so far. And realizing that increased growth of scope in order to accomplish everything, we needed to kind of build some bigger assets. So I would like to introduce everyone the Awesomenauts Rumble website, http://awesomenautsrumble.com. Do not put https or www. Or it will not work. It's still in beta. It's still pretty rough right now. We do have some I did hope to have more of it done before an announcement, because I wanted to announce it during this tournament, which I'm going to go ahead and do anyways. There is some cool stuff up there, but well, that is going to be your new place for signups, checking rules, checking in brackets, the full 9 yards, checking VODs, getting announcements. I hope you guys really like it, and check it out. It's really freaking cool. And we're also looking for a lot more volunteer staff. We're going to need more casters, more graphic designers, more video producers, anyone who can help me with doing this website. So if you're interested, send us an email to support@awesomenautsrumble.com. Our email has changed. It was awesomenautsrumble@gmail.com. Now it is support@awesomenautsrumble.com. We'd be glad to have you. Pirates, thanks a lot for coming out and casting with me today. It's been an absolute pleasure you know, doing this with you, and it's been an incredible blast, to be perfectly honest.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm just happy to be here more than anything else, and an absolute honor to be invited to do this. You know, this is obviously a pretty big event, pretty long event to be quite honest as well. But you know, I'm totally 100% down for these kinds of things, and hopefully I'll be on for some kind of casting events in the future. I really did enjoy this, and I'm looking forward to anything else that is produced out of this.
Indeed, same here, my friends, same here. Well, anyways, guys, you have a good one. It has been an absolute pleasure. Mr. Pillow out.